What's up, y'all? You are listening to For the Artist Say podcast brought to you by Creative M Projects. I'm your host, Melissa Sharee. Today we have a very special, of course, all of our features are very special. I'm going to say this one is extra special. How about that? How about that?
Extra special.
Anthony G, y'all. Anthony G. He is a musician and his musical journey began at an early age. He's been singing since the age of 2. That's right. I said 2. Like many other great musicians and singers, Anthony started off singing in church. At the age of 12, he began to take piano lessons. And after his opportunity for piano lessons fell to the wayside, he began to teach himself. We will have to ask him about that. I'm curious. He developed a quick ear for transcribing music and virtuistic hands. He began to play for his home church, and later he began to play for local acts. Anthony went on to study music at California State University, Los Angeles, where he earned his bachelor's degree in music education. He continues to thoroughly entertain audiences. I'm a witness with his vocals and piano playing. Anthony G plays an array of styles, including gospel, R&B, jazz, pop, rock, and much more. He's gone on to play in many great venues and share the stage with all time great musicians who have not only won Grammys, but have been nominated for them. Many artists have even trusted Anthony to be their musical director. He is a phenomenal music director. I can say that from experience. And musical integrity is guaranteed. Yeah, he doesn't play. Okay. He knows his stuff, and you better know your stuff if you got him as a musical director. Let me just say that when you work with Anthony, okay, or when you watch him. Anthony, what's up? Welcome to the
What's
podcast.
poppin'? My pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You know what? Thank you for saying yes, because not everybody does. I see you with your print shirt and your who is that on the wall behind you? Is that anybody in particular? Or is that just a
Oh,
random
that
musician?
is that is this it's like a silhouette painting. I think they call it pointillism style painting of the great Thelonious Monk.
Okay.
Oh,
Dope. Dope. Okay, we're gonna talk about your music, but I will say, y'all, Anthony is one intelligent brother. Okay. He has
oh, really?
layers. He has layers to him. We have had a few in-depth, deep conversations that I have appreciated.
Okay.
So, you know what? Kudos to you, brother. You like a Renaissance man, huh?
Ooh, I don't know about all that, but well, I am. I like to say I'm a thinker. I do think through things. Like to think through things at least.
You
Yeah.
like to think through things. You
Yep.
know what? Let's hang there for a minute. I mean, did
Okay.
you think through this music? Because first of all, you said you started playing piano when you were young and it fell by the wayside,
Mm-hmm.
and then somehow you picked it back up. So,
Mm-hmm.
were you thinking about that at a young age, or how did that come to be?
Absolutely, man. Man, it was such a beautiful journey, man. Just being a young man, just trying to do music, man. I think I started and I was like 12 or something like that. It did, it's kind of whatever. It's like something to do. But when I hit high school, I saw the vision.
Yeah.
And I had two twin friends, Derek and Eric Lewis. Shout out to them.
Mhm.
Um, and I really saw Derek Lewis in high school. He was great in high school, and he had a car in high school, and he was making like a substantial income for himself, being a pianist.
Mhm.
And I was like, whoa, man, I kind of do that too, man. He definitely inspired me. And then my high school teacher, Mr. Broadus, Mr. Gregory, the great Mr. Gregory Broadus, he had a huge impact on me. And yeah, so I definitely thought through it. Took a lot of sacrifice, took a lot of patience. Um, yeah, but I tell everybody who wants to start piano, start with the scales. Learn the scales. Start on C, work your way back up to the C, and that's gonna
Mhm.
really train your ear. Try to pick up some melodies, you know. So start on C, you go to the 5, uh, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, 556. Oh no, sorry. Ooh, yeah, we started on one, 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 five, five, six, six, five, four, four, three, three, two, two, one. So C C G G A A G F F E E D D C. I don't know if I'm in the right key, but that's the idea, you know. So I say start with scales, and then all of Western tone of music is based on a scale, even if they go uh go off the scale. It's the way that they do that that relates to the scale. So yeah, man, you think through that, and you sacrifice, you suffer long through the process, and then you see some results.
Sacrifice. Okay, wait. I got a couple of things I want to land on with what you just said. Well, we're gonna come back to the sacrifice part, but I just want to say, okay, you out here throwing out all these numbers, 1 1 3 3 5. First of all, and you said you're thinking now I feel much better about myself not having actually successfully mastered any musical instruments with my hands. Because you know
Okay.
what? Math, you probably did good at math, didn't you? Math and
Oh.
music, there's a marriage between math and music. I don't even like math, okay? I would I would rather just feel where we're supposed to land versus
Mm,
having to count it
mm.
out.
Well, it's like a marriage between. That's why I love music, man. It's a marriage between feeling and physics.
Mhm.
Feeling, it's like a song right there, feeling and physics. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So it's almost like the feeling informs the numbers, and the numbers verify the feelings. So like even in terms of rhythm, right?
Mhm.
You may not always feel where the music is going, but if you count it out, oh, that's on the end of three. One, two. Oh, I didn't
Mm.
feel it. I was just hearing it, but now that I know, oh, I could feel one and two and three, and I feel that hit now. I feel that syncopation. I feel that rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, and then you might feel something, you don't know how to relay it or say it to other people. So like, oh, it's on the end of two, one and two ends. That's
Mhm.
when that comes in. I'm kind of being technical. I hope I'm not talking over
No,
the heads,
I
but
love it. I love
yeah.
it, and that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. You know what? That also makes me think about just life in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like life is a marriage of those two things, what we feel and we have to think and calculate, and it's the balance of the
Mm-hmm.
mind with the spirit and soul. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like as we grow and as we learn, we get more in tune with the a rhythm. Does that make sense? Are you tracking with me?
It makes sense. I love the word balance. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great word to describe what's going on. And I love music because it's just not enough to know the theory. You have to have the experience. You have to be proficient at performing it, even
Mm-hmm.
though you may understand it. It's kind of like with our relationships. I have to learn to love you and then practice loving you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The love languages and all that business. Learning how to speak and communicate with you, and making even making eye contact and reading your body language and hearing the inflections in your voice, and it's stuff like that. So I mean, it all is physics and metaphysics. It all relates. Everything. I mean, it's like God is all and in all.
Yeah.
It's everything relates. Everything comes back full cycle. Yeah.
So good.
I don't know if I'm being too deep right now.
No, you're not being too. I mean, you're
I
just
hope I'm
being
making
you.
sense to somebody.
You just being you. That's what we do on here. We be our authentic selves. We share what's on our heart, and hey, whatever's coming out, somebody's gonna pick up, and it's gonna resonate with somebody who needs to feel the resonation. I believe that.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is from Dr. Seuss. He says, "Always be yourself and say how you feel, because
Hmm.
those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter." That's one of my
Yeah,
favorite quotes.
It's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Hey, let's go back to sacrifice. I want
Okay.
to hear more about that because you dropped that word a couple times as you were
Mm-hmm.
talking about your early musical journey.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about what you've had to sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you sacrifice your time. And,
Mhm.
time is such a precious commodity. You know, time is a measurement of moments. You can take the moment to do anything, but I'm gonna invest these moments, I'm gonna invest this time into perfecting something I love. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to be watching cartoons, I'm not going to be talking too long to my friends.
Mhm.
I'm going to invest time alone with my art,
Mhm.
right? Um, and it's not necessarily an easy thing, but the love makes it worth it. Kind of like people say about marriage. So they say marriage is hard, but it's worth it, right? So people say all the time. And you gotta be married to your art. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be committed to being better. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
yeah, and you'll start to see the results. You start to be pleased. It's gonna give back to you. What you put in. So
Mhm.
yeah, and you always say love is measured by sacrifice. You know.
Mhm. So you talked about love. You talked about wanting to perfect something and
Hmm.
wanting to be better.
Hmm.
Um, all of those three things are literally, I mean, they literally sound like your motivation. The
Okay.
things that like it's like you're motivated. Well, not necessarily the love thing, but in terms of like perfecting your music, wanting to be better, it's like those sound like the things that motivate you in some way. And I'm
Mm,
like, why is that important for you to perfect what you're doing? And why
mm,
is that important to you to be better? Because not
mm.
everybody is driven by those two things. You understand what I'm saying? It's like everybody
Absolutely.
has
And
different motivations. So I'm like, why is it that for you?
I'm so glad you asked that because I think everyone should be motivated to be better and to perfect their skill set. I mean, not just in business or work, but just with social skills and with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because the better you are, the more you can get out. I mean, more you can get out of what you're doing, the more impactful. Um, for instance, um, there's a time in my singing where I wasn't so great, and I was sing, and it'll be okay. And they'll say, "All right, yeah, you did okay. It was a good job." But when I got better at my singing, the reactions changed.
Mm-hmm.
Then they became inspired to do other things for me. They want to give me more opportunities because what I did was inspiring them, was affecting emotions with them. And then it's like when you're better, you can demand more because people want to give you more. Um, I hope that makes sense, but that's just what I've observed. And it's okay to go through a process of becoming better. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, someone used to always say everybody wants to be, but no one wants to become. Because it's hard to grow from where you are, especially when you aren't seeing results. And I just feel like when we're better, you know, we'll enjoy life more, we'll enjoy each other more. When you're better at communicating, there's less confusion. There's more understanding. There's more love to enjoy as opposed to conflict. So, yeah, man, I'm all about people improving their skill set. I try to be better every day. You know.
Yeah. Um, everyone wants to be, but not everybody wants to become.
Hmm.
I Love that. I don't know if you are familiar with some of our little CMP phrases, but one of the
Okay.
things that I always say is talent is secondary and who we
Mm-hmm.
become is everything. So
Mm.
I'm with you on the becoming. There's
Mm.
just something about that. And I guess I use the word grow synonymously with better, cuz to me if
Mm-hmm.
you're bettering yourself, it's like you're growing.
Yeah, I hope you grow to become better. You can you can grow
And
to
it's
become
like
more.
we should never stop growing, right? Because at the point when we stop growing, I mean, there's no life there. That's literally death.
Yeah, growth is one of the elements of life.
Yeah.
Yep, change and growth. Yep, one of the
Change and
elements of
growth.
life. Yeah, yeah. Trying to think of the other ones, but I know change and growth are two of the elements of life.
Mhm.
Like a rock doesn't change, doesn't grow. It's just a rock. Won't stay a
It's
rock.
just
It's not alive. But
yeah.
things are alive, they change and they grow. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great metaphor. If you ain't
Now,
changing, you ain't growing, you might be dying. I don't know.
right. Like, you might want to check that. Check your growth pulse. Check it, y'all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you shouldn't be the same. You shouldn't be the same person you were last year. If you feel like you stuck, that's fine too. I mean, that's fine that you may feel like you're stuck because that shows that you are open to change. And if you
Mhm.
don't know how to change, don't know how to be better, that's a great realization to have too, because that shows you where to start. Okay, how can I change? What results do I want? How can I
Mhm.
start going for those results? And even that thinking process right there is going to inspire you to change. Start noticing different things, trying different things. You see what works. So yeah, man, shout out to growth.
Shout out to
Hey.
growth. And you said something super practical right there that people can apply, because even in the questioning, that is kind of a launch pad for change and for growth. It's like
Absolutely.
just begin to ask yourself some questions. I mean, I don't know where to start. Start there. Ask yourself some questions
There you go.
and
Yeah.
then be honest with yourself in the answer.
Yeah. 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 Realization is a great place to be,
Mhm.
because people who don't want to change, people who don't want to stuck, they're fine where they are. They won't even think to ask themselves, and they won't change and they won't grow. But
Yeah.
if you're saying, okay, oh, how, dang, I think I'm stuck. That's a great place to be. You think you're stuck. That's a great place to start. Because
Yeah.
you all said, dang, I keep seeing these results and I don't want these results anymore.
Mhm.
That's a great place. That's how we all started to change. So
Yeah. It's a
if you want that,
great,
if you want
great.
that, if you
Yeah.
listen, you want that, or you're watching and you want that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Great place to start. Speaking of starting, and now a couple times in your bio, you dropped the fact that you started in the church. Things happened early for you in the church. So,
Oh,
I mean, obviously there's a value to that or it wouldn't be in your bio. So, talk about
no.
that. I mean, why is it necessary to even highlight the fact that you started in the church? Like, tell us about that.
Oh man, man, it's funny you ask me that, 'cause I've been really, really digging into my roots with this gospel lately. Man, well, where can I even start with that? It's like, well, for instance, man, wow, I'm just so stimulated. I don't know where to start. Um, it's important because that's how many other greats have gotten their start, and that's a great place to start because it's a loving environment.
Mhm.
It's a supportive environment, and gospel music, or even Christian music, or choral music is tends to be more expressive than other forms of music. Like you get
Mhm.
your biggest dynamics in gospel. You get a 40 voice choir screaming at the top of their lungs with the organ, the piano, and the drum. Damn, just is very expressive. Man, and then also Christian music, gospel music, demands a certain level of musicianship to execute properly. Um, I mean, not to say that other forms of music don't, but that music particularly needs a certain element of musicianship
Mhm.
or not. You can simplify it too, and it's okay too. You can it's man, it's such an incredible launch pad. And actually what I'm hearing now from a lot of from a lot of artists I see coming out, I don't hear that gospel influence as much.
Mm.
Um it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's just that I can sense that that would help them come across more effectively,
Mhm.
if they wanted it,
Yeah.
that's where it's where we learn to sing with dynamics, get soft and you get loud. Man, it's just gospel music, spiritual music is just such a precious element, such a precious art. It's necessary, man. It's one thing, even if I play in jazz festivals or play different clubs and venues, it's like you always come back to that.
Mhm.
It's where it's where it started. I don't know if I'm just rambling or not. But
No.
I wasn't ready for that question though. That's a good question. You're a good interviewer. Did you know that?
You know what?
Know
I
that?
don't like to use that word interviewer, Anthony. I like to say
Okay.
that I'm just having a conversation
Well,
and
you ask good questions, Melissa.
stuff bubbles up. I can't take no credit for it. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm
All
just
right.
like an antenna.
There you go. There you go. Very observant. Great
uh,
observation.
but I'm glad that that question stimulated you. Um, Man, it fires me up on the inside just to even have that come up and to ask you that question because, like you, it all started for me in the church too. And there's something about being in that environment where it's just so full of faith, so
Hmm.
full of love, like you said, so full of emotion.
Hmm.
And because I started there so young, it's like it doesn't leave you. It stays. It's like a seed that was planted deep, and it just keeps growing.
Hmm. Yeah, it's precious. It's special, And if and if you listen to this or you're watching this and you don't have that gospel um influence, hey, it's like to get some, man. Look up some Kim Burrell, look up some
Hmm.
Walter Hawkins, some
Hmm.
Israel. I like a lot of Israel stuff too. Yeah.
I like some of his old stuff. Well, I'm not gonna say anything bad about his new stuff, but the old stuff, like some of the older stuff, really moves me. Mississippi Mass Choir, look, you taking it back.
Wow. Yeah, Hawkins, man. The
Ah,
Winans.
the
Yeah,
Winans
that's like the early contemporary, like the Hawkins.
Commission.
Yeah, yeah, Commission. Yeah. Man, there's a lot of good
Yeah.
stuff to look up, man. Get some gospel in your life. Nothing wrong with it.
Whew, I
It'll
don't want to
help
get off.
you.
Yeah, I don't want to get off track. I don't want to get off track. But you did make a comment where you said, what did you say? That you're noticing that the gospel influence, I guess, isn't as strong or it's not really there for people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that just in terms of like society in the world, the church is like constantly changing. It's
Okay.
like I look at the church now and what it is today.
Okay.
And if I compare that to the church that I remember as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
it's just so different in terms
Mm-hmm.
of how they congregate, how they get together. Like I don't look, see, I don't want to go on a rabbit trail, but I just think it's interesting that you
Well,
brought that up.
yeah. Well, yeah, because gospel is the music of the Black church. You know what I'm saying? And and not just Black church, other churches as well. And Christian music is part of is done a lot in church. yeah, and church has changed in some ways, some for the good, and some ways could be worked upon some more. But people are changing. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
you gotta have the bait. You gotta right bait for the fish. You know, the
Yeah.
Bible uses that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have all the answers, Melissa. I ain't got all the answers. I'm just saying, I just talking about how gospel. You asked me about gospel and how it impacted me. But that's an interesting discussion though. How church has changed, and well, people have changed.
Hmm.
Yes, it's pretty. Yeah, it's very interesting discussion. I don't have all the answers, but yeah, it's,
That's another podcast and
that's
another
another
episode
podcast.
probably.
I don't know if
But
I'm the right one for that podcast.
but let me ask you this. So you started off in church and with gospel, but then you talked about all the other different styles of music that you do, R&B,
Mhm, mhm.
pop, rock. Was it easy for you to transition from gospel in the church to doing all these other forms of music?
And in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Yes, because gospel, like I said earlier, gospel music demands a certain level of musicianship.
Mm-hmm.
So you can that this translates well into other styles, meaning that you'll be able to execute properly. But there's a level of expressiveness in
Mm-hmm.
gospel music that does not translate well in other genres. So there's then a term of overplaying or over singing comes in, because you're so used to you singing gospel, that doesn't really sound quite cool when you sing in jazz, a soft jazz ballad. You all know those people that that go to church on every song they do, no matter what it is. Bless me, God bless them people, man. It's for me, it doesn't always fit. But hey, do what you do. If you feel like is working for you, then knock yourself out. But yeah, that's what the term of overplaying for me and oversinging for me as well. So you learn to be true to the genre you're playing in. Because some genres it's more about the story. It's more about the vocals. So like if I'm playing R&B, you know, I'm more so focused on remembering the parts or reading the parts she's playing a part. So Melissa can sing. We can hear her
Mm-hmm.
voice, not necessarily hear the band's musicianship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I'm playing rock, it's about that energy, that aggression. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a controlled energy. There's times when you will drop. There's times when the drums does come out. There's times when the guitar is not playing a grunge distortion. So just do your homework. Study your songs, study your genre. Know the people who influence those things. And you playing some reggae, it's just the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not even about any musicianship. I mean, I won't say not any musicianship. It's more about that vibe. So, it's not really a place where I can do a lot of feels. I'm just or even just holding that organ pad. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So yeah, so in some ways, yes, gospel does help you, but in other ways, you gotta adjust the approach. It's not, you know,
Yeah.
it's not a oh hallelujah, put your hands in the air. Oh Lord, with the organ and the big sound, not always that big sound. It's the reggae vibe. Mm. It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Anthony, I've told you this more than once because I'm always like a little bit in awe at the fact that you have been able to create a lane for yourself, literally doing music for a living.
mm,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, I mean, talk about that.
I am blessed that I get to wake up. and pay all my bills from doing what I love. That is a blessing. You don't know how many people I've talked to who make lots of money but hate what they do. I
Mm,
mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I'd rather make less but love what I do. I don't know, but I don't know how they do it. I can't relate anymore. I don't, as but if you want to get there, um you gotta understand your market, understand the clientele, and I've made some adjustments. I stopped
mm,
overplaying. I've played true to the genre, and then you meet the needs of your clients. And then you put yourself out there a little bit. Then people say, "Hey, I want that vibe. I like the way you play behind this person. I like the way I want you to represent my sound. I want you to bring about my vision." And then if there enough people find out about you, then the work comes constant. Um, you know, took a little time for me to get there, but yeah, actually I've been here for a while now, and I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
mm.
You know, yeah.
Anthony, how long exactly did it take for you to get there? So you went
Okay.
to school for music,
All
okay?
right.
And at
Uh,
what point after you finished school, and did school contribute to you being able to do music full time for a living?
oh, looking back, actually, what I'm saying, okay, we're talking about me, okay? Just you gotta
Mm-hmm.
think about you. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I actually wish I didn't go. I didn't need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I could have just went straight. When I graduated high school, I could have just went straight into the scene and really started playing. But I was more concerned about my plan B, because I didn't really see it. So I didn't really see that this was possible. I mean, well, I saw that I knew it was possible, but I wanted to be safe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with safety. Safety is great, but I didn't need to go. I didn't need to go. I wanted to make sure I had a solid plan B. So I went and I studied music, and and some I got some things out of it. I had some good professors. Um, I they they helped me understand some things, but I was already at a certain level without knowing it
Mm-hmm.
that I could have done well without going to school. That may not be true for everybody. All
Mm-hmm.
right, that was just my case. So yeah, so I had I've had some jobs, but music has has predominantly been my bread and butter. And then maybe about um I don't know exactly when, but um, you know, I said I'm just gonna be full time. I'm not gonna look for another job.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and and I held it down, man. I've I pay my rent, pay my bills, and but you gotta be committed to growth. And it's not about your skills, it's about relationships, right? I
Mm-hmm.
found people would rather hire someone that they know that they like rather than hire the best person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's about relationships, it's about being proficient at meeting others' needs, it's about being sensitive to the artist's needs. And artists are, artists are a different kind of people. We we click on a different frequency than most people. You know
Ah.
what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
you know, and each artist is unique in their own way. So you have to be sensitive to that. and have I kind of have a customer service attitude when I go. I'm not, going into the person's situation trying, or not, at least not anymore. Not going to another person's situation trying to impose my agenda.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what they pay me to do. They want me to bring their business to life. So I said, okay. And I did my best to accommodate that. And, they've appreciated me, and I've been referred, and I've been blessed, I'm still a work in progress. Not, well, as you're growing, you set new goals, you grow as you go, and
Mm-hmm.
you grow as you grow. So, setting new goals, and yeah, man, that's what it's about.
I need to know. Okay. I need to know what influences you had in your life that helped you think through some of these major decisions. Because
Hmm.
the way that you're talking, it's like I know you couldn't have done all this
Hmm.
on your own. Like you had to have some influence from somewhere that was helping you find your way.
Okay. You talking about
And
life
who
in general, or music?
in general,
Okay.
I mean, it could
Yeah.
include
Well.
music. I don't know.
Well, it all starts from your parents, and I've always been. It all starts from your parents, and I have to speaking of church, I'm very appreciative of that foundation. And a lot of um philosophies about life is discussed.
Mhm.
About how to treat people. You know, and wherever you are, you may have some drawbacks with it from your foundation. You might have some, but mine has mostly helped me even when I didn't realize it.
Mhm.
Um, and then but I've always been one that wants to learn. I've always been one that wants to get it right. And then sometimes it's not a matter of right or wrong. It's just
That's
a
true.
matter of whatever it is. Sometimes it's about a certain vision. Sometimes it's about a certain look. Sometimes it's yeah, but you gotta be sensitive to that. But know what time it is. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm. And so yeah, I've always, I've read certain books. I've always kept my eyes and my ears open. You know, I mean, yeah, I think if I could attribute anything to the success I've had, it's just that spiritual foundation and wanting to know and wanting to grow more.
Mhm.
Um, and there's elements of religion that doesn't necessarily translate in certain settings in the real world.
Mhm.
Um, you know, and you know, you kind of you find out as you go. I'm saying and I'm thinking through this one. uh, so yeah, man. You also have willing to make mistakes. Everyone
Mhm.
who's successful has losses along the way. Um, you have some failures along the way. You can't be afraid to fail. But when you
Yeah.
fall forward. Try okay. Well, some people say, well, I never lose. Either I win or I learn. That's a great way to look at it.
Mhm.
I hope that answers your question.
That answers my question. That answers
All
my
right.
question.
Yeah.
I'm curious because um when you first decided that you know what I'm just going to focus on music, that's it.
Okay.
Right, because I know for me, like when I decided that I was going to move forward with starting this organization and I was making that a priority, it was like all heck was breaking loose.
Mm,
And I literally had to move back in with my parents
okay.
as a grown adult and make that sacrifice
Hmm.
to continue moving forward with what I wanted to do.
Okay.
So my question for you is, I know, well, I mean, maybe I'm assuming, but when you first made that decision, I mean, it wasn't automatic like, oh, shoot, I made the decision. And you know what? All my bills are paid. I mean, if it wasn't like that for you and you had to struggle a little bit,
Okay.
can you take us back to that time and maybe share a little bit of that? Because I'm sure someone that will listen to this might be in a space where maybe they're like on the fence about whether or not to
hmm
move forward with focusing on the one thing that they're passionate about
hmm
out of fear for having to struggle or
hmm
how long it will take, or you know what I mean? It's like, how did you get through that time if there was a transition time where it was
Oh
hard and
yeah.
you weren't paying your bills?
Yeah. It was a transition time, but because I started at a young age, I've already had the skill set, and um you know, the job I had was like it was a safety net, but I still was doing music. Um, so music was still a nice part of my income,
Mhm.
but that job was like the extra safety net. So I just
Mm.
said, hey, I'm just going to, I'm just going to do music. And it's important that you don't be irresponsible. You know, if you're at the point where you want to do music full time, or you want to do whatever you want, whatever art form, or whatever you want to do full time. It's okay to plan it out. Say, hey, maybe if I save this much money over this much time,
Mhm.
that way I can do this too. Also, I think it's important to understand the markets you want to go into, and be able to suffice the needs there. You have to be good at that.
Mhm.
If your skills aren't there yet, that's fine. Just work on it. Just work on it
Mhm.
until you get there. Yeah, but I don't want you to be irresponsible. But now trying to think back to that time. Um, yeah, it wasn't easy. I couldn't just go splurge like I wanted to,
Mhm.
but I did have that base because I've already had been doing it, and I had an understanding of the market. Um, yeah, but I could splurge. There's one time when I was late on my rent, but I had it. I got it eventually. Um, I couldn't go out to eat like I wanted to.
Mhm.
So it was yeah. It wasn't easy, but
Mm.
you put the work in, you sacrifice, you know, and the love makes the sacrifice worth it. You know, but I don't want people being irresponsible. I can't figure that out for you, but I hope you can take something out of my story.
Don't be irresponsible and to have enough love to be able to make the sacrifices necessary to get where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you breaking it down. You are breaking it down. And
Mhm.
a couple different times while we're talking, you talked about you said, if you want it.
Mhm.
So that's important. It's like we have to know what we want. If we don't know what we want, there's definitely no way to actually have it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about this quote the other day. I say, you never in life, you never get what you feel you deserve. You only get what you negotiate, and you can't negotiate without you knowing what you want. So, you have to
Mm.
tell. Even when people call me, yo, we want you for this gig, for this day, this time. How much you take? I gotta tell them what I want. Can't be scared about that. You know what I'm saying? Can't be scared to talk about money. Be scared about details. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you feel like you give a great skill, if you feel like you give a great product, you feel like you're good at what you do, you deserve to be compensated.
Mhm.
Yeah, think about it too. You're investing your time, you're taking your equipment out there. You gotta make sure you look right, your makeup or whatever, your fits. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You deserve to be compensated for your work. So don't be scared to say what you want. You are your own business. You are your own entity. So
Mhm.
bam. Great.
Bam.
Yeah.
And how did you make the jump from playing music to wanting to be musical director for different people?
Ooh. Uh, you know what? People often think of the pianist as a musical director.
Mhm.
Um, so even in church, they come to you and say, "I want to, do you know this song? I want to sing this song in this key." And then me being one that likes to be excellent at all times, I I learned the music, and I learned the bass part. I learned the harmonies, the chords. Um, and so I'm the guy. I'm the guy telling the other band, no, it's like this, man. What are you doing? But I learned to be graceful with and then eventually it's like, oh, Anthony, just listen to Anthony. Anthony got so I learned to be graceful. You can't, you can't just impose your music, I mean, how you want the music to be on other people. You can't just you have to be more uh I don't know. I can't think of the word right now, but you have to communicate properly in a way that they can receive it, and that
Mhm.
that they're understood, that that is our loves, out of respect for the music and everything. So, yes, it's all. I mean, delivery and packaging means a lot.
Mhm.
But as a music director, you have to be firm sometimes. Like, no,
Mhm.
bro, you keep doing this. I need this. That's not going to work for this. That's not Hey, fam, and a lot of times music director, the music is the easy part. Is dealing with the personalities. That's you got an artist and they keep changing stuff, and you got to. Hey, okay, man. I don't know what this person's gonna do, but if they do this, we gonna do this and be right with them. You know, and then for me, the music director is the translator between the artist and the band.
Mhm.
So I'm taking the artist's vision and I'm relaying it to the band in a way that brings about what the artist's vision is. And so if you do that enough, then they start. Yeah, Anthony's man, he has integrity with the music. He knows the music. He's able to direct well, and it sounds good. It sounds like the song, or it sounds like how I want it. He's RMD. And sometimes I don't even want like I want to be the MD sometimes, but you the man for the job. Yeah, and
When
it's
you're
tough, but yeah, but when I walk to a new situation, I try not to impose. You
Mhm.
know, um, yeah, but it's you gotta be willing if you want that. Some people want that. They want that title. They want that responsibility. It should come with more pay. Sometimes, a lot of times it doesn't, but it should.
Mm. Mhm.
Um, you gotta be able to be willing to do more work. You gotta write out the horns. You gotta write out the horn parts. You
Mhm.
gotta know what the bass is doing. You gotta know what the guitar doing. You gotta study every element of the music. You gotta give the vocals their parts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you have to play while you're cueing the band and watching the artist. So you're doing like three, four things at one time.
Mhm.
And piano, go here, go to the bridge. Oh, the artist will break it down. Oh, this chord. So
Mhm.
yeah, man. So
Woo!
yes, it's some work, man.
It
It's
is
work.
work.
So people see that you have that. It's all about the integrity. You want to be first. You want to be excellent, and then you want to be integrity with music. And then when people see that, they know that they can trust you with that. Then they'll say,
Yeah.
"Okay, Anthony is my music director,
Mhm.
or Melissa, music director, or." So if you want that, do your homework.
Do your
Yeah.
homework.
Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't even necessarily want that, but basically the combination of your skills and gifting, your preparation, your heart and integrity, all those basically created the lane and was like, boop, no, this is you, boo.
Hmm. There, there's yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's a time when I really wanted it. And then when I started getting it, I was like, oh, why I gotta do all this?
Do I want to know? No.
Why I gotta do all this? And sometimes I'm going through situations like, oh, Anthony's like, oh, I didn't apply for the job. I want the job.
I didn't
I want
apply
that
for the
sponsor. I mean, I try to help where I can. I'm not, yeah.
job. You're like, I'm not just gonna leave them out there without an MD. I mean, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah. In a lot of cases, you don't really even need an MD. You just, I mean, it's music's not that hard. There's the band members already know the music. You don't need an MD, but they just want to make sure that I'm responsible for how everything sounds. But sometimes the MD is a fall guy.
Gotta have
Well,
somebody to
Anthony's
blame.
MD. Like, hey, oh, okay.
Oh wow, we've had a blame problem since the beginning of time. But but you know what I noticed about you? And I'm gonna get your opinion on this too. We ain't gonna be on here. Don't worry, we're gonna wrap it up soon. But
Hey, oh,
it's
yeah,
like
okay.
in all of the conversation that we've been having, like not once have you been like you've always wanted to be great and better and perfect yourself and all that, but you've never been like, oh, I want to be known across the world. I want to be
Mm,
famous. I want to be, like it
okay.
doesn't seem like that has ever been what you've wanted or been on your radar.
Fame
And
is, yeah.
you wanted
Go
to be
ahead.
famous?
Fame is not a motivation for me. It's I don't like people watching me that much. You can
Mm.
watch me on stage, but I don't want you watching my every move. And fame does not equal love.
Mm-hmm.
Fame comes with a lot of haters. Fame comes, which which may or may not be a problem. But yeah, I mean, I just don't want people. I don't. Even, I'm cool with being in the background. I come to the front if I need to, if it helps. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, fame doesn't motivate me. Um, I'm more motivated with the freedom to do what I love. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm most motivated by. And now, speaking of freedom, that's why freedom of doing what I love. I, I think music production is my biggest um my biggest passion in music, and I just haven't been doing it. So I'm putting out this project
Mm-hmm.
called The Piano in the Trap, just to showcase my music production capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's the instrumental album predominantly. I got a few vocals on it, but yeah, that's why I put it out. I want to show my music production capabilities. And so yeah, that's my biggest my biggest motivation and passion is the freedom to do what I love.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up. I mean, I had to bring it up because I wonder if you notice more or less people in creative fields where being known and famous is the motivation, or is that, do you notice that kind of falling off and people not wanting that or desiring
Oh
it as
yeah,
much?
this is the attention era. Everybody doing lots of
Yeah.
um sensationalized things
Mm-hmm.
for views and clicks and likes and approvals, doing things for clout. They do anything for clout. Do
Yeah.
anything for clout. So yeah, I totally get that. It just never really motivated me. Like I post when I feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should look up some more music marketing things. Um, but yeah, I just want the freedom to do what I love, and I want to produce more. I want I want people to be affected by me, not necessarily even knowing me. Like I want people to sing. to sing a song that I wrote without even knowing that I wrote.
Yeah.
I that would that would thrill me right there. Have a
Mm-hmm.
hit song that everybody knows, but not necessarily know I wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
All right. All right.
What
Well,
about you?
shoot.
Like, what's your biggest motivation these days?
Oh Lord, now we trying to turn the tables.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I ain't
No,
gonna
we can
stick
turn.
on your.
No, we can turn it. We can turn it. It's a conversation. I think my biggest motivation has always been. It's kind of similar to what you just said. Is wanting to have an effect on people.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and I think I've said this once before, and I don't know if it sounds cliche or not, but whatever. Like it's my truth.
Mhm.
It's like God has been my motivation, like
Okay.
since I was little. Like I don't know, there's just something about God, the creator, that just
Hallelujah.
that just like stirs me up, and it's just he's
Mhm.
just at the center of like literally everything I do, everything I aspire to do. It's like I
Amen,
don't
brother.
know, bringing people into the presence,
Mm.
you know, of the sweetness
Mm-hmm.
of God. Like
The sweetness of
there's nothing like that, whether it's through music or coaching or counseling. Like, I don't know, that seems to be my
mhm.
common thing. Like, that is my motivation, is like, how can I help other people in terms of encouraging them to be in a solid, intimate, sweet relationship with the one who created us and be all that they can be.
You deep, you went deep. That's beautiful.
Yeah. But when I was little, I think I wanted to be famous. Like
Ah.
I gotta keep it real. Like when I was little, but then, then I came into a deeper understanding, and then that was no longer my thing.
hmm Okay.
Hmm.
Because it's not about you, it's about Jesus. That was being goofy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. All right. You know what? We're gonna have to start wrapping it up because I already know you got music stuff to do. But I will
Okay.
say, what is on the horizon for you? You talked about setting goals. I know you got some.
Yeah. So my instrumental album, The Piano and the Trap, is coming soon. I'm trying to get it out before the end of the year.
Okay.
That's my goal. Um and yeah, and I wanna produce more. And I got a bunch of shows. I got a show coming up in downtown LA. Let me
Whoop.
let me find that
Information.
info.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for that info right now. Got a show downtown on Monday, the 24th.
Oh, that's coming up in less than a week. What is
Uh,
that, Monday?
that's I think the Monday after next.
Yeah.
That's not this coming Monday, is it?
No, that has to be this
That's the
coming
Monday
Monday
after
because
next. Yeah.
this is, oh yeah, okay. I'm a week ahead of myself. All right, yeah.
Oh
Monday
yeah.
after next.
I don't know when you gonna debut this show. I don't know when you gonna put this show out.
Well, it's gonna be on tonight, but um
Okay.
so yeah, y'all go to the show on the 20th. Again, do they need
24th,
tickets?
24th,
Oh,
24th.
24th, Monday the 24th,
I'm not
downtown
even
LA.
sure what it is, but it's gonna be downtown LA. I'm looking at the info right now.
Well, you know what? Shout out, you have a website or social media that they can follow where they can get more information?
Yeah. My IG is The King's Music. That's DAKINGS Music. And it's also my TikTok. And I'll be putting shows up there. If they see this, you can add me on Facebook. Me and Melissa are friends. Anthony
Yeah.
Graham is my name on Facebook. And
Hmm.
um,
And you
yeah, that's
spell and
basically
you spell
all it is.
music. the traditional way, nothing
Right.
fancy.
So,
Because people be
yeah.
like MUUSICKQ. Like,
All right. Yep. No.
I'm not making fun because I'm creative and artsy. So I mean, I have a
There
tendency to
you
do
go.
some stuff too. But I'm just saying, it's spelled music like it's supposed to be spelled, y'all. MUSIC, the King's music.
All right. You have DA King's Music. Kings with an S. KINGS Music. Yep. That's how you can keep up with me.
All right, y'all. So you better keep up with Anthony G. Listen, and like I said, you guys, he's got layers. So we're gonna have him back on. He talked about his music, his production. But homie is also an author and a writer.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't even get into that creative side of your brain, but I'm gonna have to have you back on.
All
Okay.
right, sweetie, let's do it. I have
So
fun.
yeah. But any last words before I wrap it up?
No. Well,
No pressure.
oh man, just be committed to growth and grow as you go,
Mm.
grow as you grow. Much love. Peace.
Yeah, love it. All right, y'all. You have been listening to Anthony G, Anthony Graham on The King's Music. That's not the name of the show. That's his social media. Okay. Don't get it twisted. This is for the artists, a podcast
Hey,
brought to you by
for the
Creative
artist.
M
All the
Projects.
artists.
Yeah, which is a nonprofit, tax exempt 501c3 organization. Shameless plug, y'all. You want to give something, go ahead and give you $5, your $50, your 50,000, whatever you want to do. But anyway, until next week, y'all already know what it is. Keep creating from the inside out. Peace.